And we are live here in the Jimnasium Tailgate, folks. As always, I am your illustrious host, XFL Jim, joined by my beautiful co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Gulf Coast Guru, the man from the coast with the most, it's Magic Mike. You give the people what they want, tell people about yourself. I actually just realized I need to change into an appropriate shirt.
Okay, yeah. Hey, it is me, the Gulf Coast Guru, Magic Mike, the GCG. We are going to be breaking down the AAC today, which is fucking phenomenal. Our last group of five before we dive balls first into the Power Five, which we cannot wait to bring you.
Yeah, in fact, I'll just preview it right now. Literally tomorrow, we're giving you the ACC. We're going from AAC directly to the ACC. We're giving the people no time to catch their breath. That's what we're about here at the Jimnasium Tailgate.
Yes, keep the pressure on them.
We are balls to the fucking wall. And with that, let's jump right into these win totals. You got Temple up at number 1 with an over-under of 3. And I've been a Temple guy for a few years now. I hate seeing that. I like the Owls. I've liked them so long, but 3, just especially after last year, it feels about right to me.
Yeah, it's been rough. Rod Carey really hasn't gotten that ship sailing right, and he's 9-11 there, but last year the 1-6, and they were 113 scoring offense, 110 scoring defense. Not a good look. He could find himself in the hot seat if it goes that way again this year.
I'm definitely not a Rod Carey guy. I'm a Temple guy. I am not a Rod Carey guy.
No. I mean, he did have NIU pretty competitive there for a long time, and they're kind of going off the rails without him.
I talked with a couple NIU fans, though. They felt like he had kind of hit his ceiling there.
And that very well could be. I mean, for a team that competes with the Power Five so much while he was there, they never really dominated the MAC in a way that you'd think they would, especially with the talent they had.
You thought they would have, but let's just jump through this Temple schedule a little bit. They start the season with a nice back-to-back road slate. Love to see that to start out with. At Rutgers and at Akron. At least they get Akron.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why I gave Akron a win, is they got the back-to-back road spot, and it just seems like a Tom Arth team might have a little more motivation and be on a better trend than the Rod Carey Temple team. So I got back-to-back losses there.
Yeah, because it's back-to-back, and I feel like we both had Rutgers. I mean, we had Akron kind of higher on our field with the MAC. I kind of like that, too. I'll give them 2 losses there, too. Up next, they get Boston College at home and Wagner at home. So at least they get 1 win in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Boston College at home, I mean, that's 2 prestigious programs going against each other, but they're going in 2 way different directions. Boston College is going to get that win, even being on the road. So I got a loss and a win.
I can feel that one, sure. And then Memphis at home and at Cincinnati going into the bye week. Yeesh.
Yeah, I did give them a squirrely little win against Memphis at home, just because I'm not very high on Memphis this year either, but Cincinnati's an obvious loss.
I still don't, even with Memphis being not as good this year, I still think I would have them beating Temple.
It very well could happen.
So I'm going to give them 2 losses here. Then they go to the bye week. Then out of the bye week, they get at USF and UCF at home.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a win over USF. I think they're still pretty god-awful. And they get the bye week before to prepare, but UCF's an easy loss.
I'm lockstep with you there. At ECU and then Houston at home.
I got 2 more losses.
That's 2 more losses there. And then ending the season at Tulsa and Navy at home.
And I got 2 more losses.
This is a pretty safe under to me.
Yeah, I mean, I got him at 3, but the Memphis was pretty generous. I would definitely lean under for this team as well.
And I got him at a pretty easy 2. USF could bite them.
You gave them did you give them
I gave them a loss at Memphis and Akron. So yeah. Okay. I only have them beating USF and Wagner.
Yeah, and the USF, I mean, being down there, you never know. They were oddly high in recruiting rankings this year. So it just doesn't seem like they got that program rolling right, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm just probably going to fade USF until I see otherwise. Up next, we got Navy. And I'm high on Navy, and their over-under is 3.5. Blindly, I want to say over. I always feel like the academy teams, for at least the recent history, they've been at the very least like bowl teams.
Yeah, especially with Ken. Now you got to say it as fast as you can. Niamatalolo. That way nobody
Nia
knows.
Matalolo. I got it.
Man, did Arizona whiff on that when they took Khalil Tate, that tweet? And
Why do you ever pick your quarterback who's there like 3 years max over a coach who's usually there 3 years minimum?
It made no sense. And he would have been perfect in the triple option anyway, if that's what Ken would have ran over there.
Yeah, even if that's what he would have anyway. And you see these teams like Coastal and Tulane running variations of option play, and they're fucking excellent.
Exactly, and it could have worked out. And I think that's what he would have did with a Power 5 team. Is I think he would have ran a variation of the option, and Khalil Tate would have been great in it. But instead, he bombed out under Sumlin. So, yeah, swing and a miss there, Arizona.
Before we go through these games, shout out to Leo. Excellent show, boys. Excellent show to one of my favorite Greek people on the planet, Leo, DGens United over on Twitter. Let's go. Starting the season off for Navy, Marshall and Air Force.
Did you see Leo get penetrated yesterday?
I did hear about that.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, it was a hot show there. Yeah, all right. So I got a win over Marshall here with the first-year head coach coming in, Charles Huff. I like the spot. I mean, I know you have all offseason to prepare for the triple option, but being that it's a home game and it's his first game as a head coach, I'm going to give the win to Navy.
I got to favor Navy in that one, too. I'm going to give Navy the win. Air Force, though.
Yeah, that's tough coming to town, but this is a 9/11 game. It's a 9/11 Memorial game. Such an emotional spot. Being at their own stadium in Maryland, I'm going to have to go with Navy on that one.
I'm pretty sure I favored Air Force in their game, but I feel like, yeah. No, I'm going to favor Air Force still. I'm way too high on Air Force. I'm going to give Navy the loss here. They get the bye week after that. Then they get to play at Houston and UCF at home.
I got 2 losses there. I mean, I think Houston takes care of business at home, and then UCF has a bye week, so even Gus Malzahn can use that
nice preparation there.
Yep.
After that, they get SMU at home and then get to go on the road to Memphis.
Yeah, I got 2 losses there. Now you're getting into some tough conference play.
That was at home. I could definitely see him taking Memphis.
Yeah, I know. I would pick them over Memphis if they were at home, but on the road, I got Memphis.
After that, then they get Cincinnati, and then a back-to-back road games against Tulsa and Notre Dame.
Disciplined defense with Cincinnati. They're not going to fall for the triple option stuff. They should handle that game pretty well. And then 2 losses on the road trip to Tulsa and Notre Dame.
I can see why this is 3.5. This is actually a really tough schedule.
It's a slog, man.
After that, it's a bye week. Then they finish off with ECU at home, at Temple, and Army.
Yeah, ECU's on the second leg of a back-to-back road trip when they play Navy, so I'm going to give Navy the win there. At Temple, I am also going to give them a win, and then I got them losing to Army because I want them to split the Service Academy games.
I actually think I have Navy winning out these last 3 games, getting one over on Army. Navy has been due for that game.
Man, they knocked at the door last year too, and Army was the way better team, but Navy came on, man. Not having that offseason because of COVID really killed them. Over the last 3 games, though, they only gave up 14.7 points per game, and that was against Memphis, Tulsa, and Army. So with a whole offseason, Niamatalolo will have this team ready to go.
Hey, once they start practicing, this team's really good.
Exactly.
I got them at 4 wins right here, and I feel like I'm definitely leaning the over because I could easily see them like getting that Air Force game or taking like that Memphis game.
Yeah, I got them at 4 as well, and I'm pretty heavy on the. I'm not heavy, but I'm definitely leaning on the over. I'm going to go with tradition here with Navy.
I'm going to say I'm comfortably on the over here. On the flip side, next team up we have is University of South Florida, USF, with an over/under of 4.5 wins.
Yeah, I don't know where Vegas pulled that win total from. The only thing I could find is they did have an oddly good recruiting year under Jeff Scott this year. I mean. By good, I mean they were top 50, I believe, but he was 1-8 last year. The only team USF beat was the Citadel. They were 102nd in scoring offense and 121st in scoring defense. That's pretty terrible.
This isn't an easy schedule by any means either.
No, not at all.
They're not doing themselves any favor with this out of conference.
Yeah, the non-conference, you have 1 FCS, but the other 3 games are for sure losses.
Like starting off, they start at NC State and then Florida.
Yeah, 2 losses right there.
Penciling in 2 losses right there. Florida A&M you'll beat after that.
Yes. So
you get a back-to-back road slate of at BYU and at SMU.
2 losses.
That's rough. Like maybe if BYU's really bad this year, they could beat BYU, but
I don't, especially not up there. I
don't see it.
I don't see it.
Then they get a bye week, thankfully, after that. Then they get to play Tulsa and Temple at home.
Yeah, 2 losses again. Temple got that bye week before they play them. I'm giving them 2 more losses.
I got 2 more losses for them as well. Then at ECU and Houston at home.
2 more losses.
2 more losses right there, easy. And then Cincinnati at home, and then at Tulane and at UCF.
3 more losses. Man, this team surrendered 43 points per game against AAC opponents last year. It's not going to be a good season.
It's going to be a really bad season. I have them with 1 win.
I have them with 1 win as well. It's one of my favorite in the conferences.
This has got to be one of the best unders I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's easy cash money, especially with that non-conference schedule. Man, that's a joke. 4.5. Vegas rarely misses. They missed here.
They're not doing themselves any favors with NC State and Florida. I'm just going to say that for an if you're an USF fan. Holy shit.
Or BYU.
God dang, for real. Especially going to BYU. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, no chance.
Next up, the Pirates of East Carolina, over under 5 wins. I feel like that's about right. Like they seem like a fringe bowl team to me. Like just off my gut.
Yeah, I graded them out. I graded them out real close to that over under. I won't show the whole hand, but this team I think could be really sneaky this year. I really like Mike Houston. This is his 3rd year to right the ship for the Pirates. I like this team. I'm just going to say they got 10 starters back on offense and 10 starters back on defense. I like this team.
I like this team in spots to like catch teams that you normally wouldn't think.
Agreed. Absolutely.
They start the season off App State and South Carolina, as I was saying.
So App State's a neutral site.
Yep.
And that's a little in-state rivalry there. I gave them a loss, but it's very tentative. I could completely see them beating App State. I gave them a loss, but I got them beating South Carolina at home. And honestly, I don't even think South Carolina should be favored in that game. That team is trash.
I got them 2 wins out the back. I got them over App State. I think this is like a rebuilding year for App State. After that, they're going to go on the road to Marshall.
Yeah, I got them losing that.
I would probably have them, if that was at home, I'd probably favor them, but on the road, I'll give it to Marshall. Charleston Southern and Tulane at home.
I got 2 more wins.
Ooh, you got them over Tulane there.
Yes, I do. At home because it's there.
I'm going to give them an L. I'm pretty high on Tulane, so I'm going to give them a win over Charleston Southern, loss to Tulane at UCF.
I do have the loss there.
Should I? I think comfortable. I think normally I have to favor UCF. I'll give them a loss. Then a bye week, and then at Houston.
I got another loss there for at Houston. I really talked myself into thinking this might be the year Houston comes back. I was looking through the recruiting rankings today, and man, Holgerson just hasn't done it there.
Yeah, he needs it because they retain so many players.
I know he's running out of excuses. He's had a lot of excuses.
Is this year 3?
Yeah. The first year he had the red shirt shit with Derek King,
and then COVID.
But I mean, the recruiting rankings have not been good for that team.
You don't want that in Houston.
No.
So I got ECU with a loss to Houston. Then USF and Temple at home.
I got 2 wins there.
I would also pencil in 2 wins. Then at Memphis, at Navy, and Cincinnati.
I got a win and 2 losses to round out the schedule. I haven't beaten Memphis.
I'm right there with you. So we got them. I think we're the only difference is you had them beating too late. Otherwise, we're lockstep here.
Yeah, I got them 6-6. So what? You have them 7-5 then?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I thought you had 7-5 because you have them beating Tulane.
No, you haven't beaten App, and I don't.
Oh, so we're both 6-6 because I haven't.
Yep.
Yeah, we're both 6-6. I'm pretty comfortable on the over.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty good on this over. I think there's actually potential for more than 6 wins. It's just when you're grading it out, beforehand, it's hard to pick them. But
because I could see them like upsetting a UCF or a Houston, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Absolutely, they got a freshman all-American, by the way, not just all AAC. Freshman all-American wide receiver CJ Johnson. They got an all AAC wide receiver, also Tyler Snead. They got Holton Ayers, their quarterback back. They got all AAC running back Raji Harris. It's an embarrassment of riches on offense. This team could catch anybody on any given day. It's going to be more like our Purple Pirates of old, where they used to just fuck someone up out of nowhere and you never saw it coming. I'm excited.
I'm excited for this team for sure. Up next, the Tulane Green Wave. I would say this is the team in this conference with the best food.
Yeah, definitely. Also, one of the rowdiest student sections I've ever seen. And they have the coach with the hottest wife. I would be willing to wager money on that as well.
I heard some things that it's actually the daughter. I don't know.
The daughter of Willie Fritz. It's a staged.
It might be.
But yeah, Willie Fritz is a G, man. I love Willie Fritz.
Willie Fritz is the fucking man. They start the season off with a rough banger. Oklahoma coming to Nollins.
Man, I wish it wasn't week 1 because I could see. I mean, kudos to Oklahoma for going to Tulane.
That's the only props I'm going to give Oklahoma today.
Fuck them for everything else. Exactly. Kudos for going to Tulane. But, yeah, being week 1, this game could get ugly fast. Tulane has to get out in front if they want any prayer.
It would be super nice if Tulane had a week 0 game before this.
Yeah, a little tune-up. I agree.
They're not winning that one. But then they get Morgan State. Like, if those were flipped, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do have them beating Morgan State fairly easily.
And they get to play at Ole Miss and get UAB at home.
I'm going to give them the loss to Ole Miss and a win against UAB, which is a good win there. Don't sleep on them beating Lane Kiffin, though. Never know.
They could. Like, Lane, if that defense isn't markedly improved, they could drop a game like Tulane.
Absolutely. There's a lot of weapons on this offense. Michael Pratt had 20 touchdowns as a freshman last year. 4 of his 5 top wide receivers are back. They always have like a really good 2-man backfield, like a good 1-2 punch with a big guy and a little guy. I don't know how he always works that in, but he does. I mean, they have everything you can ask for on offense. If Lane wants to get in a shootout, Tulane will slap you right back, Lane. So
after that, they get at ECU and Houston at home right before the bye week.
Yeah, I got them losing at Houston, but losing at ECU. Sorry, Houston is on the second leg of a back-to-back road trip. I'm going to have Tulane get the win.
I got wins over both of those teams, actually.
Very nice, very nice.
And they get the bye week. Then they get at SMU, Cincinnati, and at UCF back-to-back-to-back.
I know, what a stretch there. I got them. I wish SMU wasn't as good as I think they are, but I do think they're really good. So the bye week goes a little to waste for me. I got 3 losses.
See, I'm like flipping back and forth on SMU. I like hot and cold with them all the time.
Yeah, Jim Levitt going there is it's the kicker for me.
I think that's the big thing. Give me SMU there. So an L for Tulane, an L for Tulane, and another L. That's rough. Those are the 3. I mean, those are 3 of the top teams in the whole conference.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to the team. UCF, man, that schedule's golden for Gus Malzahn. He got so many favorable games at home. I mean, we're already seeing it. Like if it was UCF at Tulane, I'd pick Tulane.
Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of these. The schedule just breaks right for one of these G5 teams. They can rattle off like 10 wins like nothing.
And Numbnuts Malzahn gets the benefit. Go figure.
Jesus. So after that run, they get Tulsa at home, USF at home, and at Memphis to end the season.
Yeah, Tulsa is also the second leg of a back-to-back away for that team. So I do have them winning all 3 of these games.
I do as well. I think we're pretty much lockstep. I think I gave them an extra win over ECU that you didn't have.
Right. Yeah. So you're 7-5, and I'm 6-6.
That is correct.
Yeah, I think Willie Fritz is just going to have this team. They're always going to be right around a bowl team. But then there's going to be some years where he snags some talent that's just ridiculous, like a couple years ago, and they'll be there. They'll be a team that could turn some heads, Yeah,
Tulane's always like one of those teams, especially if they can compete. Like if they do it close with Oklahoma out of nowhere, that puts some eyeballs on this school. Because they're super marketable. They have a fun mascot. They have a great logo, and Willie Fritz is like a very fun personality.
He is, and it's that student section They get going, man.
I would love to go to a game.
Yeah,
I would love to go to a Tulane game.
Yeah, Tulane is definitely up there on my group of 5 teams. I would like to visit their stadium.
Up next, the team I am super hot and cold on, SMU, with an over-under win total of 6.
Yeah, here's the thing. This schedule is tough for this team, but Sonny Dykes is back for year 4. They bring in Jim Levitt on the defense. Their offense has 9 starters back. Their defense has 7. They were 12th total offense in the country last year, 15th scoring, 78th total defense, but that's going to change. Jim Leavitt had FAU in 10th in scoring defense and 24th total defense last year. That was at FAU. Now you give them SMU talent.
I think SMU with an improved defense is super scary, actually.
It is really scary. And you bring in quarterback transfer because they had
Shane Buechele.
Right, from Texas, but he leaves, but you bring in transfer from Oklahoma, Tanner Mordecai. So they bring in another Power 5 transfer quarterback, and I think they're going to pick up right where they left off with the Sonny Dykes.
I might have a hot take. They might be like my long shot for this conference.
Dude, they totally could. That over-under 6, it's just because of this schedule. I mean, you'll see when you get into it. It's pretty tough.
It is really tough. They start the season off with Abilene Christian at home in North Texas.
That's not the tough part. 2 wins.
Now, the beginning part's actually they get like a nice little like ramp kind of going to the difficulty. After that, they get a back-to-back road slate of at La Tech and at TCU, which the at TCU is basically in their backyard.
Yeah, but they got TCU the last time they played, and now you're going to their turf, and it's the second leg of a back-to-back. And
I think TCU is much improved this year.
I think TCU is a sleeper this year with Max Dugan at quarterback. I think that team's a sleeper. That Big 12 better watch out for that squad. And also, SMU better not sleep on Skip Holtz and La Tech looking ahead to that TCU game because he'll catch you.
He will catch you. I think SMU gets it. But I think TCU is their first loss. Then they get USF at home after that one. A nice little break.
Yeah, I got them beating USF.
Got them beating USF. Then they get to play at Navy before the bye week.
They handled business against Navy last year. I'm going to give them another one here.
I think especially with an improved defense, I favor SMU pretty heavily there.
I think Jim Leavitt's the kicker there.
I think so. After the bye week, they get Tulane at home.
Yeah, I'm going to give them the win for the bye week there.
I'll give them the win too. Then they get a nice brutal stretch to end the season at Houston, at Memphis, UCF at home, at Cincinnati, and Tulsa.
So I got them beating Houston. Memphis does have a bye week before, and this is the second leg of back-to-back road. So I am going to have Memphis win, but I got them beating UCF at home, losing to Cincy, and beating Tulsa at the end of the year.
I think I only have that. My question is Tulsa's defense going to be like as good?
Man, they lost 3 of their
much.
top corners. It sucks. Drinkwitz not App State, Drinkwitz at Missouri. They poached their top 2, which those guys were shut down corners. So that sucks.
I think I would have them winning 4 of these last 5.
I got them with 3 just because Memphis gets them in such a good spot.
I know Memphis gets them in a good spot, but I think SMU is that much better than Memphis.
I could totally see it. I mean, SMU, they got one of the top running backs in the country, 2 of the top wide receivers in the conference. I'm sorry, 2 of the top wide receivers in the conference. They return all 5 O linemen, and then you give them Jim Leavitt on D. I mean, I got them 9-3.
You caught me on a super hot day for SMU. I have them at 10-2.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, I had them at 10-2, and then I scratched out the Memphis game and gave them a loss.
At 10-2, are they playing in the AAC championship game?
I think they are, man. I think at 10-2 they are.
I think so.
Yeah,
that's crazy. With their only loss in conference being to Cincinnati.
Hey, and something to keep in mind for this season: some of these teams, it's a tryout for a bigger conference with things going down, especially if the Big 12 doesn't dissolve. Texas Tech and those teams, they're gonna have to suck a dick and let some other Texas teams in and just bite the bullet because you can't let everybody walk it. You're gonna dissolve. You don't want that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to SMU plus 2,500 to win the AAC. Might as well sprinkle a little bit.
Yeah, dude, that's not a bad look at all. Not with the coaching staff and the talent they have.
I don't see this value on Cincinnati at all. This bookmaker has them at minus 230. What the fuck?
I know, and their under win totals, it's pretty high too. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Moving on along, I'm pound the over on SMU is what I'm going to leave you with that. Moving on to Tulsa. Tulsa's a team near and dear to my heart. Golden Hurricanes all day, every day.
All over my face, baby. Love it.
All over my face. It's the only way to shower. Over under of 6.5. which I want to just blindly say over because I always feel like they're going to be I feel like they're going to be a 7-8 win team in my gut.
I really like this over. I'll show my hand there. I'll just say that I really like this over. You still got Phil Montgomery. You got 9 starters back on offense. They did have 10 starters back on defense. Now that's down to 7, but they were the 19th total defense last year and 27th in scoring. But let's get into the schedule because it is tough.
It is really tough, especially really tough to start with. Not at the very first game. They get UC Davis as a nice little tune-up.
Yeah, thank you for that tune-up. We'll get a win there.
Then back-to-back away games at Oklahoma State, at Ohio State.
Yeah, this was an athletic director that got drunk, I think, because that's insane. But OK State, they played really tough last year, and it was in Stillwater. I got them losing, but, man, they could battle.
I think Gundy is he's good at those kind of games.
Yeah, and this is a sleeper year for Gundy where nobody's talking about him. He always creeps up on you at that time. It's when you think he's going to be great that he underperforms.
I don't want to show my hand, but the Big 12 is one of the conferences I'm most excited about.
Same here. There's a lot of value in betting in the Big 12 this year.
I think we both have him at 2 L's, though, for these back-to-back away games. After that, Arkansas State at home and Houston at home.
Yeah, I got them 2 wins there. I don't think Arkansas State's very good with Butch Jones this year. And then Houston has Navy the week before. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Tulsa.
I'm going to get Tulsa in both those as well. Then Memphis at home and at USF before the bye week.
2 more wins for me.
2 more wins for me as well. After the bye week, a great spot to get Navy for a great defense.
Absolutely. That's all you want. A bye week before the Service Academy. Go ahead, give them a win.
Give them a win there. Then at Cincinnati and at Tulane.
That's where it finally gets tricky in the scheduling, man. I got them 2 losses there because of the back-to-backs.
Cincinnati returns too much.
They got a lot.
I almost want to have them here for the revenge spot, but I just can't see it. I can't buy into it.
Not on the road. If it was at home.
Yeah, if it was at home, maybe. But I'll give them 2 losses there as well. Then finish off the season with Temple at home and at SMU.
And I got a win and a loss.
Yeah, I got a win and a loss there as well.
So this
is a tough schedule.
I know, but I got them 7-5, pretty much losing all the games that they should lose. That's why, only 7-5, but I'm pretty heavy on the over because I just don't see the other losses. Arkansas State, UC Davis, you get Houston at home, you get Memphis at home, you get Navy after the bye, you get Temple at home. Those are all wins for sure.
Yeah, and they could catch SMU. They could, it's not out of the realm of possibility. They could catch Oklahoma State.
Absolutely. They could catch Tulane. I gave them a loss against Tulane.
They could catch Tulane, and then maybe, just maybe, they could catch Cincinnati. I think the revenge factor plays a fact, but
absolutely,
I'm on the over here for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually for having them 7-5. I'm really heavy on that over.
Up next, the Memphis Tigers with an over-under win total of 8.5. Woo, boy.
Vegas got drunk on this one. That's way too high for this team. That's them mailing it in and being lazy, not doing their homework, and just looking.
It's just people being Memphis is one of the top teams in the AAC forever, right?
Yeah, they've had a good string of coaches and stuff, but it's on the downtrend, man. 88th total defense last year. Yeah, they got 9 starters back, but you can't be that bad at defense and keep winning at a high level. Also, you got Grant Gunnell in from Arizona. You lost your starting quarterback. It's just there's a lot of pieces gone, and the defense is so bad. They were 117th nationally against the pass last year. Not good.
You don't want that, especially in this kind of conference. You don't want that.
No, absolutely not. Not when UCF's in the conference. Not when Desmond Ritter's in the conference. No. Nope. Not good.
They start the season off with Nichols at home and then on the road to Arkansas State.
Yeah, I got 2 wins there, but don't sleep on little Nichols.
Don't sleep on either of those, honestly. But I have them winning both those as well. Mississippi State at home and UTSA at home to follow that up.
I'll tell you what, I was generous here. Mississippi State, this is a tricky spot traveling to Memphis, and they have LSU the week after. So I did give Memphis this win here in this spot as a spot situation. And then I do have them beating UTSA, but looking at it, if they beat Mississippi State, they're not beating UTSA, even though it's at home.
You're being generous. I'm going to flip that. I have them losing to Mississippi State. I'm not going to be that generous with that. And winning against UTSA, which is not a gimme. That is not a
No,
gimme.
no, not at all.
After that stretch, they get at Temple and at Tulsa.
I got them taking 2 L's.
I got them. Let me see what I have for Temple. Yeah, I got them beating Temple and losing to Tulsa there. Then they get Navy at home and at UCF right before the bye week.
I have them catching Navy at home. I have them getting that win and then losing to UCF.
Yep, I'm lockstep there. After the bye week, it's SMU and ECU, both at home.
Yeah, I have them beating SMU simply because it is the second leg of a back-to-back there for SMU, and then I have them losing to ECU.
I have them losing both those games, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then at Houston and Tulane at home to end the season.
I got them 2 L's.
That's 2 L's for me as well.
So let me tell you what I did here. So I had them go 6-6 because I was trying to be generous to see what the hell Vegas is seeing in this team. I got them 6-6 with beating Mississippi State, beating SMU. These are games that they probably shouldn't win. UTSA even isn't a gimme. I got them 6-6, and that's being generous. 8.5, you're high. Pound the under.
Okay, if I'm being like super high, I give them ECU, SMU, Mississippi State, UTSA. I have them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like at 8.
And that's like giving them everything.
That's giving them everything. That's the only games they lose are Tulane, Houston, UCF, Tulsa.
It's just not happening. 9 wins is not happening. This is an easy under.
That's my easiest one of the conference so far. This is an easy under.
Absolutely.
Holy
Vegas was asleep at the wheel on that one, man.
Up next, Houston. Dana Holgerson, quote unquote, coaching for his ? Job.
Yeah, like we said, first year with no excuses. You got 7 back on offense, 9 back on defense.
I feel like this is one of those situations where if you have a bad year, next year you're on the hot seat.
Yeah, because, I mean, they paid him an assload of money that Houston doesn't have to just buy out. So he lucked into that situation. I never understood.
I think COVID was such like a gimme. It's kind of just like you try and like chop that off. This is like kind of starting over with a sort of a fresh slate. And if you have a bad year, then next year on the hot seat. You got to fucking make or break next year.
I think definitely. I think this is really the last year he has no excuses. And if it doesn't go well, he's going to have to really do something next year. And with those recruiting classes he's getting, it ain't going to cut it.
They don't cut it at Houston.
No.
Starting off the season, they get Texas Tech at home, and then they're at Rice.
I got them losing to Texas Tech and beating Rice, and I don't feel good about them beating Rice.
I could actually, I'm pretty low on Texas Tech, I feel.
I am too. That's possibly the most 50-50 game I've ever seen in my life.
I actually have them winning both these games. After that, they get Grambling at home and Navy.
I got 2 wins for them there.
I got 2 wins as well. I have them coming out swinging 4-0. And then a nice little at Tulsa, at Tulane special right before the bye week.
Yeah, I got 2 losses there.
That's 2 losses for me as well. After the bye week, ECU and SMU at home.
I got a win and a loss losing to SMU.
I'm rock step with you there. At USF and at Temple after that.
Easiest back-to-back road stretch you could get. I gave them 2 wins.
2 wins, yeah. It's if you get a back-to-back, that's the kind of one you want.
Yep.
Then Memphis at home and UConn to end the season.
2 more wins. That's where the over-under comes in.
This is such an easy schedule.
Schedule's light. So I got them 8-4, so just under.
I got them 9-3, but maybe like a Rice or like a Texas. I'm giving them Texas Tech, and that's not a gimme.
That's not a gimme, and I'll tell you what, Rice, man,
Rice isn't either.
Bloomgren got that team on the right track, and they brought in Luke McCaffrey now.
I mean, I saw Luke McCaffrey at Nebraska, and you thought Adrian Martinez can't throw a ball. Luke McCaffrey cannot throw.
That is true, but Rice doesn't throw the ball much.
That's true, and he is a good runner. He's a fucking great athlete.
He is.
Maybe that's what you need. So the Rice, what did he say? They're trying to be the Stanford of Texas. That's what you need. You need a McCaffrey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he remembers what Christian did under Bloomgren. He was the offensive coordinator when Christian McCaffrey was there.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I'm technically on the over, but I'd probably lean under. I wouldn't touch this one if I'm being honest.
No, and you know what? That at UConn at the end of the season, I know UConn sucks, but what a Randy Etzel thing that would be to win
that'd
that
be hilarious.
Game. And I mean, it's cold weather game at the end of the year. It's Southern team traveling north. I don't know. Is UConn playing a dome or they play outdoors?
I'm pretty sure they play outdoors.
Dude, you know what? Fuck it. I'm giving the win to UConn.
Under.
Under for me.
Under. Okay. Up next, UCF. And man, when you were talking about schedule, this is as favorable of a schedule as I can fucking see.
Yeah, they really do get a favorable schedule here. Gus Malzahn lucking into it.
If you're a UCF fan, I feel like now you're kind of going like conference title or bust, at least participating in the conference title game or like getting to a New Year's Six Bowl. You've kind of elevated the program to that level. Your entire season kind of comes down to game one.
Yeah, no shit. And you know, it's such a weird game one because these are two programs that have been, I mean, Boise for much longer has been a
Boise
staple.
For like decade and a half.
UCF's been that kind of new Boise type team lately. And now they're meeting each other in a situation where they both have new coaches and a lot to prove. It's very interesting. I do have UCF getting the win at home, but man, that's a coin flip.
I think the fact that it's a new coach, and not only at UCF is it a new coach, it's like an entirely new system. I feel like at Boise, you're kind of keeping that system mostly kept together.
That's true, but man, they got some ballers on UCF. Dylan Gabriel, he had 3,500 yards, 32 TDs, and 4 picks last year.
God, he's good.
It's just ridiculous. They have all 5 linemen coming back. They were 4th in passing last year, 25th in rushing. But man, Tennessee might have whiffed again because Heupel took this thing all the way down. They were 123rd in total defense last year. That's out of 127 teams.
So that's something I've noticed since Scott Frost left. Like when Heupel took over, they like little by little they've been getting worse and worse.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the talent was still there, so he was winning some games, but I think Tennessee might have whiffed again.
I think so too. But I'll give the win to UCF. I'll be generous here. Then they get Bethune-Cookman at home. That'll be a sick band to come to Orlando.
Yeah. Nice of Malzahn to bring the SEC scheduling tactics over to UCF.
After that, they get to play at Louisville before the bye week. And I think UCF might even be favored in that game.
It's going to be close. Like Louisville, I mean, we'll get into it big tomorrow. It's so confusing there because, like, when you're really looking at what they're doing on the field, Satterfield's doing his thing. He's doing a good job with a Louisville team that they got spoiled there for a while with good teams. They're not a great traditional program, you know, and Satterfield's turned it around from being a dumpster fire, but they hate him. They hate him there. But
I feel like a lot of for him, it's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. That
going for the South Carolina job, they really fucking hate him for that. 4 coaches left in the offseason. I'm giving the win to Louisville because it's in Louisville, and Satterfield is a much better X's and O's coach than Gus Malzahn. But
I feel like the players would like him. I feel like the players are still probably on board with him.
And they had a lot of transfers this year.
Man, I don't fucking know with this Louisville team, but
I know.
You know what? I'll be generous to UCF. Give UCF the win there. I'll do it.
Okay.
3-0 going into the bye week. Then they get Navy at Navy after the bye.
Yeah, you get the bye, you get the win.
Get the bye, get the win there. ECU at home.
Gave them a win there.
Give them a win. Don't sleep on that. But then they have to go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I got them losing that.
That's probably the one, very few losses I'll have for them on this schedule. Memphis at home after that.
Yeah, Memphis, I got to win.
That's a win. Then they play at Temple.
Yeah, I got them winning that, but watch out. That's October 30th. It's going to be outdoors and up north. These southern teams don't like to play in cold weather.
Temple can bite you. Bite you. Then they get to play Tulane at home.
I got to win.
That's a win, too. Then they play at SMU.
There we go. There's a loss.
There's one other loss. Then UConn at home and USF at home.
Yeah, sleepwalk through that.
Easy wins there. We only have him at. I think I have him at 10-2.
I have him at 9-3. So I got him on the under, but I don't feel great about it.
And I have him at 10-2. I'm giving him the Louisville win though.
Yeah, and that's a true coin flip.
I'm giving the Louisville win, and I'm giving like Tulane's not, and Boise. Like there's a lot of coin flips in here.
And lucky for them, they get most of them at home.
Yeah.
That's why it's so tough on these games. Like a Boise at a neutral site, I'm taking Boise all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably another stay away for me if I'm being honest. If I had to go one way, I'd probably lean over because I think Gus is still like he's a fine coach. He's gimmicky, he's weird, but he's fine.
It's so weird with Gus Malzahn. I go back and forth. He gets shit on way more than he should because people don't understand how hard it is to win. It's so hard to win there. And to have won a national championship in the same state as Alabama while Nick Saban's there is
he was only offensive coordinator then. So
oh, that's true. That's true.
He's never been a head coach for a national championship team.
That's true. That's true.
He played in the national championship. He was the head coach when they played.
Yeah.
But that was like the luckiest football team I've ever seen.
That was. I mean, they had Cam Newton too. So
no, that was
right.
I was talking about the lucky year when they had the miracle at Jordan-Hare against Georgia and the kick six in the same year.
The kick six. That's what I was going to say. Yes, right.
Good fucking Lord. Last team of the American Athletic Conference, we have the Cincinnati Bearcats, my favorite team from Ohio.
Yeah, me too. I'm very, very interested to see what this team does when the conferences shake up here. I've been hearing a lot of Big 12 talk, which I think is fucking stupid. I would much rather just see them go to the Big 10, but
I think Ohio would try and veto that as much as possible.
I know, the fucking assholes. Just
join the SEC. I think Kentucky would try and veto that though.
They absolutely would. They definitely would.
Fuck. There's not too many spots that Cincinnati would fit that they'd also want them.
Maybe ACC? Possibly.
Yeah, but I feel like after the Big 12, the ACC has the least amount of leverage.
That's true, but if you want to land somewhere, or maybe you just try to expand the AAC. I don't know.
AAC, Mountain West, and then grab a couple Big 12 teams.
Yeah, basically see what you can grab from the Big 12. I mean, maybe that's the move for the AAC. I mean, they got the clout lately, so.
They could. I feel like, okay, if you take the Big 12 without Oklahoma and Texas, this is all I'm going to talk about this. You take the AAC as it is now. I think the AAC is probably in a better position.
Honestly, top to bottom, they probably are. I mean, when you're talking Kansas, I know they got Leopold now, but when you're talking like Kansas traditionally, there's no team in the AAC that's as bad as Kansas. I mean, maybe Temple and USF now, but
not usually historically though.
Not historically, no. So yeah, I mean the AAC might honestly be in a better spot since he's in a tough spot right now. There's so many teams that are. I'll tell you the one team that is in a good spot is Notre Dame because they could just sit back.
They can do whatever the fuck
they want.
Did you see? Okay, before we get into Cincinnati, this is the last bit. I'll try and be off topic. No, did you see Notre Dame's first game? Is it going to be on TV? It's only going to be on Peacock.
Jesus Christ!
It's only going to be on Peacock, so you have to download Peacock to get Notre Dame's first game.
That pisses me off. Good thing I live down here. I'll just go to the fucking game. Fuck you, Peacock.
Yeah. So like,
Jesus, that's
Notre
ridiculous.
Dame just like, hey, we're gonna get into this streaming shit too.
Yeah, we're gonna go to fucking Under Armour and we're gonna change our field and
Hey,
I'm a
guess
Notre
what?
Dame fan. Stop the shit.
You thought it was an Oklahoma pay-per-view thing, was like a one-time thing. How do you like to pay subscriptions to watch this team, that team, this team, that team? You got to pick and choose which teams you watch, and you have to pay a subscription fee for each one.
That better not be the route college sports are going. It really better not be. But with the money grabs that they keep doing, man.
I'm thinking conferences would probably, and like TV networks, like conferences especially, would probably be like, they would put in the contracts if they're going to be on TV. This has to be on like TV.
Man, I don't know. I could totally see the SEC trying to be like their own fucking app or something.
Oh, like if the SEC makes like a CBS only, like an ESPN. We're only on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I could totally see them pulling that shit. God damn it. XFL, Dwayne Johnson, get
Get the fuck in here and just shake everything up.
Just fuck this shit up.
Just shake. At this point, I just want the XFL to be pure chaos and just shake everything up.
Same here. I just want them to fucking just call them out. Just go straight. Cut a promo, Dwayne. Just cut a promo and tell everybody what fucking assholes the NCAA is being, because this is just getting ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous. Now back to the topic at hand. Cincinnati over-under win total of 10 games.
Did you ever think you'd see the day with Cincinnati and an over-under 10?
Good on you, Cincinnati. I'm glad. I remember Big East Cincinnati always being kind of like a fun team to root for.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Notre Dame, Brian Kelly, back when he, Tony Pike
Fucking
and the boys.
Pure scumbag, but whatever.
Yeah, that's why I still hate Brian Kelly to this day, because he's the first example of a coach doing that I could think of, bailing on the bowl game when you had, the underdog team going against Florida and then you booked it. I've hated Brian Kelly ever since.
Him and who the fuck is that Alabama politician guy now? Fuck. He left Texas Tech.
Shit, I can't think of it.
Let me see if I can figure it out. Tommy Tuberville, of course.
Oh, Tuberville. That's right.
That ties it back to Cincinnati. There we go.
Yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon there.
Jesus fucking
there we
Christ.
go.
Anyway, Cincinnati over under 10.
Tuberville.
Fuck Tommy Tuberville. Fuck you, Brian Kelly. They start the season off with Miami of Ohio at home and Murray State at home. What a great way to start your season with 2 wins.
I know, yeah. Miami of Ohio, traditionally a rival of Cincinnati, but not anymore, not right now. Yeah, 2 wins.
Miami of Ohio is a fine team. They're a good MAC team. They're a fine MAC team, but Cincinnati is just leaps and bounds above them.
Yeah, they're way too far above them now.
Then after that, they're going to go to Indiana.
I'm not super high on Indiana this year, but I am going to give them the loss here, and I'll explain why in a minute.
I'm going to give them the win, but I'm not. What is high on Indiana? Is high on Indiana, is that 9 wins? Because I think Indiana could be a 7-win team, and I think that's a fine season.
I think that's a fine season for an Indiana too. But what happens is these teams, they get spoiled off of one season and they expect the world, and they're not going to
happen to Purdue a little bit.
Right. Yes. It happens to a lot of teams. We talked about Louisville when they had, Lamar Jackson, when they had the Charlie Strong years. These teams, they think that's what they are. And you're not. That's not traditionally you. It takes a lot to finally, we saw how long it took Clemson to finally get to where they're at. Clemsoning was a thing. They were a butt of a joke for a long time. It took a while.
You get from where Indiana was, where you're a 5-win team. You're trying to make a bowl game a lot of these seasons.
Exactly. You're known as a basketball school.
To consistently making bowl games. And then after that, you get to consistently winning 9-10 games. And then you can break the upper echelon sometimes.
Yes.
Like you were saying with Clemson. Clemson was around that 9-10 win season forever.
Exactly. If you ask me what Indiana's goal should be, it would be to turn your program into what Iowa is, where some years, yes, you're in contention, but it's because you're well coached. You don't get the best recruits. You're just well coached. You have a sweet ass home field advantage. Some years you just take advantage of what you have. You find a diamond in the rough, and all the other years you're just a pain in the ass and you're a bowl team.
I would say it's even harder for them than it is for an Iowa, because they're not even the premier program in their state.
And that's true. Yeah, they're not. It's a little different with Notre Dame because they're a whole different ball game. They recruit from everywhere.
It's true, but it's Notre Dame though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you'll have everybody always I'm a Notre Dame fan too, but I hate this. Well, they can't recruit like everyone else because of the academics. They have retards.
You can argue
everyone
about that.
else.
You can argue that with any fucking school. I've heard Wisconsin people argue that.
And technically, Florida's an academic school.
Yeah,
fuck off.
I could see it with Duke or Berkeley or
Northwestern.
Northwestern.
That's the argument. The Northwestern, they don't get the recruits. Notre Dame fans, shut up. You're top 10 in recruiting every fucking year. You're one of the only teams in the nation that could recruit coast to coast, all the way to Hawaii.
They're one of the few pure national recruiters.
Everybody's seen fucking Rudy, man. It's not. I'm telling you.
And they play everywhere. I think having those schedules against USC consistently, they're in the West Coast all the time. People know them.
And they're still the team with the target on their back. If you look at their schedule this year, I know of at least 4 teams offhand that have bye weeks the week before they play Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They're still treated. They're the ones everybody wants to beat Notre Dame. When they go to play at schools, a ticket that's normally like $80 goes up to like $250.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. So you have Cincinnati losing to Indiana, huh?
I do. And that's because I have them winning at Notre Dame after the bye week, after Notre Dame plays Wisconsin the week before on the neutral site.
Hey, guess what? I have them winning both of these games.
Woo-wee.
Both. Cincinnati is going to fucking – people are going to be like they were for UCF and be like, playoff? Yeah.
If they win that stretch, they have to be. They have to.
If they go undefeated and they beat Notre fucking Dame,
I'll fucking in South Bend too.
I will riot.
I will personally riot. I will join you then. I'll burn down Florida. You burn down Nebraska. Get those cornfields all on fire. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
After Notre Dame, then they get Temple and UCF both at home.
I'm going to tell you right now, I got wins the rest of the schedule.
I'm also going to tell you right now, they are not losing a fucking game this year. Cincinnati is going undefeated.
I will give you one spot that I am worried about. They play Navy, and then they have a second back-to-back road game away against Tulane. The Tulane game I would be a little worried about.
The only games I'm worried about are those two right there, Tulane and Tulsa. Tulsa for the revenge factor, but it's at home.
Yep.
And Tulane because it's on the second leg of a back-to-back, and Tulane always is a tricky team.
And following Navy.
And following Navy too. But no, over. I want on the principle of this, I want it over. I'm going to maybe just burn some money and throw a ticket on Cincinnati to win it all just because I want it. I want to manifest reality.
Yeah, why the fuck not, dude? I mean, if you win out this schedule and you beat you beat a Power 5 team in Indiana and you beat Notre Dame in South Bend, fuck it, man. You got to go balls to the wall. You got to go balls to the wall.
If they go undefeated, they beat Indiana, who last year fucking took Ohio State down to the wire almost.
I feel so much like I'm such an Ohio State fucking hater. Like I hate that school. I hate everything about them, that it is so programmed into my brain that everything Indiana did last year was so much to prop up goddamn Ohio State. Like I can't get over that. I feel like the NCAA wanted Indiana to be this marquee win for Ohio State because you didn't have Michigan. They sucked. They didn't even play Ohio State. Fucking Wisconsin sucked. Everybody sucked in that conference. So I felt like they were trying so hard to push that Indiana was good when they really weren't like premier, you know?
I definitely could see the cynicism there. Fuck, man. And then on top of that, just the fact that they don't want any of these G5 schools at all. And I thought Cincinnati played Georgia super well, and I thought Georgia was probably with who they have at quarterback.
JT
Daniels. I think Georgia with JT Daniels was Alabama's best competition. They never played. They never played.
So too. But you got that built-in fucking excuse that the SEC uses every single year, like when UCF beat Auburn. Oh, well, they don't care about that bowl game. It's not the playoffs. They don't care. I fucking hate that too. Every year.
They act like Cincinnati didn't have any players sitting out.
I know, exactly. Everybody does. Every single team does. And you don't think Cincinnati was let down when they didn't, make the playoff, when they didn't win out? Like they were let down too.
Other people might be on the same page as me. I'm seeing Cincinnati right here at 80-1.
Ooh, that's not bad. That's actually higher than I would have thought.
That is higher than I would have thought.
Oof. But I mean,
you see if I can find better odds. But
I'll tell you something else that I'm a little worried about as far as when you're talking committee. Notre Dame, I think, is an 8-win team this year at best. So that's something that I'm a little worried about too.
That's so fucking stupid. Like, who's Ohio State going to beat that's better than a fucking 9-win team?
Exactly. That's the thing. But Ohio State, you saw it. They changed the friggin' rules, so they only had to win 5 games to be playoff.
Who is Clemson going to beat that is better than a 9-win team?
Clemson's schedule's trash this year. That team
they sleepwalk into the playoff.
They do. That team is not. They are not elite this year, but they're still going to go undefeated because their schedule's so soft.
Good fucking Lord. Okay, we can fucking get on this tangent for fucking ever. Before we sign off, what is your favorite win total of the AAC, my friend?
Man, this one is close, but I think it's the Memphis under, dude. 8.5 is ridiculous.
I think, yeah, for me, it's between the Memphis under and the SMU over.
SMU over is another really, really good one, and the USF under.
Yeah, those are probably my three top ones.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just going to say it, Cincinnati over. I just want this to happen. I want it.
I think it's happening, man. I think it is.
I want to manifest it so fucking bad. Wouldn't mind sprinkling a little bit on SMU to win the AAC. Wouldn't mind that play a little bit.
Oh, why not, man?
Just kind of as like a backup.
They got weapons everywhere.
Before we sign off, as always, the Jimnasium Tailgate is brought to you, folks, by the lovely people over at Manscaped. Go over to Manscaped right now. Get the Lawnmower 4.0. Trim up your gooch. Trim up your nether regions. It's going to be fucking smooth down there all the time. And make sure you use promo code XFL at checkout for 20% off and free fucking shipping. Go do it right now. XFL promo code over at manscaped.com.
Man,
My man.
Manscaped's fucking awesome.
They're so fucking awesome.
I love it. And they have the best ad reads.
Oh, they're so good. The Gulf Coast Guru, Magic Mike, tell the people what you've been up to, where they can find you.
Yeah, as always, find me over on Twitter at 32CourtVision. Still with that handle. Find me there to chat anytime you like. Find me on BTV Better Than Vegas, of course, where I am doing daily college football fast fives, where I just drop knowledge on you every single day. 5 things you need to know for the upcoming season. We are within a month of the season. Just dive in with us. Dive in with me and Jim head first. Get into this.
We have college football this month.
Yes.
This month.
Yes.
That's fucking insane to me.
I mean, we
It's
covered
so awesome.
it. UCF Boise's coming up, man. It's not too far away.
My team is starting off the fucking season, I think. Illinois, Nebraska, week 0, baby.
Yes. Man, I'm pulling for Scott Frost, too. I love
so
Scott Frost.
So before I give away all my shit, I'm at that irrational fan state right now where I'm projecting us to win like 9 games.
I hope so, man.
I'd be so happy. My level of hype would be through the roof.
Do you like Adrian Martinez? Are you a big fan?
I like the guy. His year 1 was such like a nice thing to see. And it just sucks. Like, I feel like year 2 and like last year, he was battling through a little bit of adversity and injury. And they've been saying the coaches have been saying all the right things at training camp where they're just like, we really wanted to like give it to Adrian this year to like put the players around him. We wanted to surround him with talent. And I was like, I think he's good. I think Adrian Martinez has shown if he's consistently at his best or like around there, he's a good quarterback. He's fine.
You know, oddly enough, I've never looked it up. I always just assumed it's a fact. Is he related to T Magic? No. I always just assumed he was.
It's interesting that like the 2 longest running quarterbacks we've had in like the last decade have both been Martinez.
Yeah, Taylor Martinez was there for like 7 years. Dude,
I think Adrian could be as well. But I'll get into that when we talk Big Ten. I'm XFL Jim. Y'all know where you can find me. I'm everywhere. Go check out. I just had the CFL certified series drop with CFL Jim. We're going to be every week. I'm breaking down the CFL games and giving you my picks, my winners, who's going to be winning that each and every week. Be ready for this month because as college football and NFL approach, hashtag Garage Certified is coming back, folks. It's going to be big. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fucking awesome. Pay attention to the garage. We've had a big spring. We've had a big summer. We're going to have a fucking gigantic fall. I'll tell you that right now.
I will tell you right now that Canadian CFL Jim, he's a delight. I don't know where you found that guy. He's
a very nice
fantastic.
Guy. He's a super nice guy.
So pleasant.
Anyway, at XFL Jim, YouTube XFL Jim, Instagram, Twitter, you know where to fucking find me. This has been the Jimnasium Tailgate. Join us again literally tomorrow for the ACC coverage. We're in Power 5 territory now, folks. It's going to be fucking awesome. Before you know it, the season's already going to be here.
Well, I can't wait, dude.
And we out. Peace, everyone.